Now, I've got some more homework for you folks. There's some books I'm going to recommend that are really helpful in relation to everything that we've gone over here. And this particular one is excellent. It'll help you with all kinds of things. I got the hard copy. It's called Interference Theory, the Grand Scientific Musical Theory by Richard Merrick. Had a lot of great conversations with this fellow, and had a lot of dialogue with him over the last number of years. Really knows his stuff. And this was he hasn't printed a lot of these books. It was a small print run, but this is one of the absolute best books I've ever seen. And I've looked through a lot of books, contemporary and older, on issues related to resonance. But this is relevant to our understanding of energy dynamics. And you can actually get a free copy of that entire book. It's beautifully illustrated. I paid close to, I think it was between $80 to $100 for my copy. It's very high quality paper, and so I had to get a paper copy of it just because I loved the content so much. But you can get a PDF file for free. You can download it from the site, interferencetheory.com. Some of it's technical. It may be over, some of the content may be over the heads of some viewers, but I'm pretty sure everyone viewing the content of that book will find much in there that will be super helpful. It's a lifetime. Um, if you were to get a printed copy of that book, it would be something you'd want to pass on for generations. Right? It's that wow. Um, so now the other one is that's a great book is this is an unusual text. It is not easy to find, and it does not have a large print run. It's based on the work of W.B. Yeats, who was involved with a number of different things. One of the things that he had done was work with moon phases, and the book is called Phases of the Moon: A Guide to Evolving Human Nature by Marilyn Bastide and Dorothy Wirgen by the American Federal Astrology Association. This is what the cover looks like. And it's not very big. It's a tiny book. Years ago, I spent about $30 to get this. And it is phenomenal because what it lets you do is it lets you determine key points similar to and also different from what we saw in the other moon book that I listed. So this book, along with the other book, is absolutely critical. And the reason that it's critical is that it lets you find out much more about your inner terrain. And this clocks and gears really well to what we just reviewed about Sedna and Black Moon Lilith. And the reason that it does that is that much of what we experience on a regular lunar, monthly cycle will sort of interpolate and act as another focusing lens on energies that are going on related to Sedna and Black Moon Lilith. And with this book, you can find out, the specific times for the month where you're going to be on, like the days, and it describes qualities too. And probably the most important thing about this book is that it gives very specific characteristic descriptions that describe to you, so you can understand consciously when you're out of phase. And it will describe, here are the kinds of thoughts, here are the kinds of actions, here are the kinds of behaviors, here are the kinds of circumstances that will arise in your life that you can consciously observe, and you'll be able to tell consciously, okay, I'm out of bounds here. And the funny thing is, they say in this book, is that when those bad times arrive, there is an unconscious impulse, like an overwhelming temptation for us to go overboard towards areas specifically that are not healthy for us, that get us off balance. And so in order to sort of actively manage that, and to also have great certainty and clarity on, well, what are the things that are healthy for us? What are the things that feed our souls? This acts as an additional guideline, and it's a great support tool for managing Sedna energies. So what I'm going to say to you is that once you've discovered what the natal energy of your Sedna position is, and you're going to find as you go through the degree descriptors that we see in authors such as Corelli, there's a lot of content in there that will give you huge clues as to, I mean, just on its own, on how to manage properly the negative side of that energy. But this book will give you an extra boost towards that. I've had this for a long time, and I don't ever want to lose it. And some of the tables that it has in here are just astounding. It's really clearly linked out, like really specifically, and so you can track, what the likelihood is on any given day, and you can also actively monitor what's happening in my life right now. Is the quality of the day, is the quality of the experience, the moment, in line, definitively with me staying away from, or going towards that negative tendency that my Sedna and Black Moon energy may exert on me. Now, there's another book I'm going to recommend, and this is called The Arabic Parts, by An Astrological Key to Prediction by Robert Zoller. This one, Zoller is an astrological researcher. He's a scholar. He's an extraordinary scholar. And a big part of what he's been doing is going through a lot of the ancient texts that had some pretty meaty content that had not been available to much of any public audience for a long time. So to give you an idea, he went through some of the really old ancient Arabic texts and found all kinds of wonderful nuggets. And he also went through some of the Renaissance figures and distilled and recaptured some of these ideas that are just fantastic, and then translated. He translated it into English. And this is another gem in my library. And one of the reasons that I like that is it gives a very clear understanding and window into much of the mechanics of what we've been describing in this video and others. So it really kind of fills in a natural understanding as to how these things work. And Zoller wrote another book, and it was a translation from an Arabic scientist that lived quite some time ago, and his name was Al-Kindi. And Al-Kindi was also a mathematician and a poet. And Kindi wrote an amazing text. It's not very big. You can purchase this. I bought a copy of this myself. And it's simply called The Stellar Rays. You can find that online. But now, at the end of this course, you have enough content, both in the video as well as in the online file, to get a handle on what's happening with your Sedna, what's happening with your Black Moon Lilith, and there's a lot of other resources as you scroll through the online web document. You'll be busy for a while. So I hope this serves you. And what I would ask is, if you enjoyed this video and you feel that it's benefited you, please give a descriptive, detailed comment about your experience in the comment section below. And so I'd like to ask beforehand your permission to be able to share your comments in different online public venues. And I will have more content coming for you soon. Thank you for joining me in this, and I wish everyone well.